So, as many of you know, I have a wrestling podcast called the K-Fabulous Lucha Brothers Wrestling Show. And last night, me and my co-host Draven were recording the show. And during the recording, and by the way, the show will be up this weekend. I will leave links so you guys can check it out if you haven't. It's our podcast about wrestling. It's a longer thing. It's like an hour or so long, sometimes 2 hours, sometimes 3. But if you're unfamiliar with that show, definitely check it out if you like wrestling. We talk about old school wrestling and new wrestling. But anyways, during the taping last night, my partner Draven, my co-host, stated that he got a text message from somebody. We're not going to say who. It happened during the live taping last night. It was around 1 in the morning on the East Coast, saying that The Undertaker is coming back for No Mercy. Now, again, we took it with a grain of salt. I went ahead and I double-checked with somebody who I know, a source that I have, and I haven't heard back from them yet. It was just last night, so it's only been a few hours. However, supposedly, PW Insider is claiming that The Undertaker is training to come back at No Mercy. Now, that's interesting to me because it once again kind of shows that whenever we hear rumors of somebody retiring, turns out that it's actually not always the case, meaning that you always hear wrestlers saying they're going to retire. Like we heard that Taker's last match was against Roman Reigns. That was the talk all weekend during WrestleMania 33. But now this is an interesting thing. Now, I have a couple of theories and speculation here about what could be going on. Now, what I'm about to tell you is unconfirmed, but it's just something that I'm sensing based on the information I've gathered and things that I know. Notice that John Cena is wrestling a lot of dudes that you would think they would save for pay-per-view. Nakamura, Samoa Joe, he was supposed to wrestle on Monday, but he got hurt. You've also got the Roman Reigns match at No Mercy. I know a lot of people are like, well, wait a minute, why are they, giving away the Roman Reigns John Cena match at No Mercy? Shouldn't it be at like a Royal Rumble or a WrestleMania, a bigger pay-per-view? And that makes logical sense. Well, I'm thinking that the comments that John Cena made during his promo on Monday, and this is something that Draven had also said on our podcast, which you will be able to hear this weekend, like I said. But you can still check out the old episodes. I'll leave a link to it. You can check out the older episodes in the archives. We reviewed SummerSlam 2017, the last one, but I digress. So Draven was talking about this with me. We're discussing it. I'm starting to believe now that the plan is to go with the Undertaker John Cena match finally. I actually believe that we're going to get that match now. If Taker does show up at No Mercy, I could totally see Taker showing up at No Mercy and then looking at teasing that he's going to beat up Roman Reigns, and instead he beats up John Cena, because John Cena during his promo on Monday Night Raw stated that Roman Reigns beat up I forgot the actual verbiage he used, but he referred to Taker as an old beat down wrestler with an artificial hip. And that might be what pissed off it might be what pissed off The Undertaker to lead him into coming back into this storyline and them actually doing this angle of John Cena versus The Undertaker. Now, for those who don't know, John Cena and The Undertaker did have a feud once. Back in 2003 on SmackDown, Taker and Cena had a feud, and it could be possible that they're finally, because that was before Cena kind of became the champion and was the top guy. He was on his way up, and he was a heel. Could be possible that they're finally going to do that John Cena Taker match finally at WrestleMania, and this could be the beginning of the build to that. And that could end up being Undertaker's real last match, which I think makes sense. I think Taker losing to Roman Reigns is a little bit underwhelming, to be honest. Even though I know why they did it, I don't necessarily agree with it. But I think Taker retiring in Louisiana in the Superdome, the same stadium that he lost the streak against Brock Lesnar just a few years ago, against John Cena in a match that we wanted for so many years, because we haven't seen, top guy Cena against legend Taker. I think that is a very good WrestleMania match. That is a huge match for WrestleMania, and it's one that they still have in their back pocket that they haven't done yet. But it just goes to show, again, when people say that Taker's, I didn't really suspect that Taker would unretire, so to speak. He never officially retired. It wasn't officially said, but the fact that he is now, that there's actual talk of him coming back for No Mercy, and him possibly getting involved in that match, I truly, truly believe that that's where they're going. I don't think we're going to see Taker and Roman Reigns again, even though they might do that. They might still do that. I still believe it's going to be Taker and John Cena. I really believe it now. Again, check out the Lucha Brothers show. I'll leave a link to the iTunes feed for you to go to iTunes, subscribe to the show. Even if you don't have iTunes, you can download it from geekdom101.com. We've done over 120 episodes. I think we're at 135, reviewing old pay-per-views and talking about current wrestling. And this weekend's episode is going to be new wrestling versus old wrestling. What is good and bad about new wrestling, and what's good and bad about old wrestling. And it's going to be talking about Dr. Wagner and a whole bunch of stuff. So check that out. I'll leave a link. And let me know your thoughts. What do you think about The Undertaker coming back, wrestling John Cena at Mania? Do you want to see it, or do you want to see Taker and Roman Reigns again? You tell me. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you later.